Look at some of the work that UMass Lowell has been doing in response to COVID-19, and especially their work with our MERT program. But first, before I discuss this, I do want to give an update, as I do every day, on testing cases and hospitalizations. Yesterday, we saw another day of numbers that were heading in the right direction. We've had several days in a row now of promising results as we've entered phase 1. Massachusetts is continuing to ramp up our testing capabilities. We're well over 500,000 tests performed to date, which makes us a national leader. The average positive test rate continues to inch down to about 8.5% as we continue to see hospitalization totals decrease as well. This is coming as we start slowly to get back to work, and those are both positive signs. But what it also means is that people have been playing their part. They've been washing their hands, covering their faces when out in public, distancing themselves from others when they can, and everyone is staying vigilant with respect to symptoms. The science, as we all know, and this is clear, doing these things is how we stop and kill the virus, and we all have to keep it up. It's great to be back here at the Fabric Discovery Center. I want to thank Chancellor Maloney for your extensive partnership on this center and so much more. You've heard us say many times that it's a constant battle to get personal protective equipment, so-called PPE, in the door and to support our frontline healthcare workers and protect patients from COVID-19. And while we continue to work a variety of supply chains, we've also looked to our own businesses right here in the Commonwealth to help us produce life-saving gear and supplies. And through some unique partnerships, we've created and funded a program to assist local manufacturers to make their own PPE, even if it's not in their traditional business model. The MERT team has been working in collaboration with the Command Center to help Massachusetts manufacturers change their operations and quickly start producing much-needed products. Since launching, we've heard from over 750 manufacturers worldwide who are looking to help, and nearly 450 of those companies were located here in the Commonwealth. MERT's helped those companies identify what types of items are most in need, provided regulatory guidance, helped coordinate supply chain needs and access to testing products, and reviewed product instructions for use, labeling, and packaging. Going forward, it's important that we continue to quality control and test the products we're making using the same benchmarks and standards that others use. Product testing is why we're here today at the Fabric Discovery Center at UMass Lowell. And I just think it's important to point out at this point, the Lieutenant Governor and I have been in this space on a number of occasions over the course of the past 5 years or so. And I think, honestly, I think this floor was nothing but a bunch of pillars. I'm looking at Chancellor Chen, right, the first time we came here. And that was because it was part of a joint initiative between the federal government, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the U.S. Fabric and Manufacturing Association to create, for all intents and purposes, this Fabric Discovery Center here. And there is a lot of really interesting work that goes on in this place, and there has been for the past 5 years. But there is something kind of special about the fact that work that we did with UMass Lowell, with local manufacturers, with the federal government, and with a variety of other folks to stand up a Fabric Discovery Center here has made it possible for this operation, which already knows a lot about making fabrics of one kind or another, to stand up a set of testing operations that can then be used to test masks and test gowns and test other elements that are so critically part of the PPE supply chain. And it just continues to build on this idea that the more we can do from beginning to end here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, including testing a lot of the fabrics and the products that are being developed here in Massachusetts, the less we have to worry about some of the issues that come with getting involved in global supply chains, which the Lieutenant Governor and I could go on for hours about how much fun that is. The academic institutions and the R&D institutions have been critical to much of the Massachusetts-made PPE production effort, and that includes teams from MIT, WPI, and of course the folks here at UMass Lowell. For N95 respirators, surgical masks, and gowns, MERT's partners now have capabilities to test for a number of very specific factors here to make sure these products work as well as they're supposed to. MERT's coordinated access to this PPE testing, which has served the needs needs of over 80 companies at this point, including the State Department of Public Health and the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency. We've also benefited from the world-class R&D centers that Massachusetts calls home, including the Advanced Functional Fabrics of America operation, which I believe has, they got people right here. Yes, Chancellor? Okay. And their CEO, Dr. Sasha Stolyarov, is also here today. There he is. Thanks again for the partnership on so many of these initiatives. Here at UMass Lowell, these folks have conducted 80 tests of filtration efficiency, 82 tests of liquid barrier penetration, and 27 tests on gowns. I asked if they had actually tested any of the Merrow gowns, which is one of the enterprises down in Fall River that's famous for making industrial sewing machines, but is now in the business of making about 500,000 gowns a week. And I was told that while they haven't actually tested any of Merrow's gowns yet, I'm sure they will at some point. We're going to suggest they do. They actually do have a bunch of Merrow sewing machines that are actually part of the operation here, because this is, of course, a fabric discovery center, and they do make the #1 industrial sewing machine in the world. Just a nice little Merrimack Valley, South Coast story. And obviously, with the new equipment that we just saw as part of this tour, they'll be able to increase their capacity here substantially. The Fabric Discovery Center was able to purchase this equipment to test PPE through a grant from the MERT program that enables high-volume screening of a myriad of materials for N95s, gowns, surgical masks, and other products. And without this kind of testing, it would take a lot longer to produce quality PPE here in Massachusetts and get it tested. Carolyn was saying earlier that as the volume of this sort of material, these kinds of products has become more and more critical to first responders into our healthcare community, obviously the backup associated with finding places and spaces where you can get the test done started to grow. In some cases you could do it here, but it took a long time because of the backlog. Some of you had to send out of state. Once again, you know, building your own capacity just makes it better, faster, cleaner, and more efficient, and way more customer-centric and service-friendly. And this is in many ways a great example of a pivot that's going to work in the short and the long run for everybody. There are companies also all over the state, from 99 Degrees, Custom, and New Balance in Lawrence, to Caroline Products in Danvers, to Boyd Technologies in Pittsfield, that have already taken advantage of the testing capabilities here. 27 companies are making face shields, masks, N95s, test swabs, and medical gowns, as well as parts for ventilators because of the work of the MERT. And many of those products and materials are tested right here through the Fabric Discovery Center and their partners.